a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. Let it. I sure gotta live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. God of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye. And you said when no one's to be found, what keeps you eased out, what takes you off your mind.
Yes, you want this, I want this. Everybody in this, we should have it. Stop illusions, it's in your hands. Show yourself, reveal it to them. Take the time to recognize it.
So hang on one second. So you judge me? No. Hang on one second. No.
We have to introduce ourselves.
You judge me that I
Hold
don't drink
on.
water, and when I am drinking water, you chastise me for the size of a bottle.
Welcome,
Holy-
everyone.
Yeah.
My name is Maria Bunt.
And my name is Miguel Martinez.
In case you're new, we're so excited to have you here to our podcast called From Vision to Success.
Yeah.
This is where we dive deep and we talk about things that matter
And
that don't matter too. Like the size of your water bottle.
No, it does matter. So for the longest time, if you're a long-time viewer, you'll know that she's always bugging me that I don't drink enough water, that I'm not hydrated enough.
You know how I know though? Do you want me to tell you how I know you're dehydrated? Do you want me to tell you?
I don't know if I want to hear.
It's okay. I'll still tell you either way. So this is how I know. I always tell my kids, if you're not drinking water, you're like a raisin, right? So you have to hydrate in order to become a grape. But I can see it in your head, like the crevices. It goes.
Are you flipping serious?
I can see it. Like, look at all those crevices. So then when you are well hydrated, I can tell you like your head is like full and plump. So I'm like, oh, you're hydrated.
You are the worst person in the entire world. Like, what the heck?
So become a grape, man. You're a raisin right now. You're a pasa. Remember we had this conversation before. Anyway, we're so excited to have you guys here.
Yeah, we're excited
It's been a while,
to
right?
be roasted. Yeah, it has. It's been
3 weeks.
Has it?
Yep, because you guys went on vacation. So Miguel here went on vacation with his whole family.
Yeah.
And you guys had 2 Mondays. Like you were gone the first Monday and then you were gone. I think you were coming back on the second Monday. And then
No, I was coming back at nighttime for the second Monday. Yeah.
yeah. And then the third Monday you had some like presentation work related things.
Yes.
And then the week was just yeah. His account got hacked, so
Oh, frig. So there is a hacker. So there's a
there's lots of hackers.
yeah, no, I know there's lots of hackers.
There's one hacker out there.
But this particular hack is called the Lily Collins hack.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So other people have had it, and like, have they reached out or wanted like anything?
Yeah, and it's even the news, like television, local newses have done a piece on it, and it's the exact same thing across the board. It's this person, they hack your account, and within like 5 minutes, they'll change your profile pic, they'll change your name, they'll change to Lily Collins, who's an actress. They'll change your register, like the email that the account is registered to theirs, and a phone number, and they'll change your phone number so you can't retrieve it. So when you like want to do a reset, and like, oh, I forgot my password, they'll send it to the confirmed email address that's on the account. But because this person, it's like within 5 minutes, like do, they change everything.
It's a system they got going on.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I got the notification. It was Sunday. Yeah, it was Sunday night. I got an email, like I was sleeping, and I get an email at 10:40 saying there's suspicious activity. And so I'm like, oh crap. So I came on and I turned on the computer, and then I get within a minute I get another email saying the email has been confirmed. Your new email has been confirmed.
Oh, dang.
And I'm like, what? And so I'm like trying to like whatever. And so my Facebook, I have my not only my email but also my cell phone. So in case I don't have access to the email, they can send the code to my cell.
Oh, dang. So you do have, because they say that the safest way to prevent from hacking is having a 2-step registration.
The two-way factor. Nope.
Oh,
Nothing.
dang.
So then I'm like, okay, I can't access it via email. So let me access it via telephone. And so as I'm inputting, I forgot my password via telephone, I get a third email saying your new phone number has been confirmed.
Oh, dang.
And then I get another email saying, here's your new profile pic. So like within like 5-6 minutes,
Bam, 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 bam.
it was, and I could not keep up, right? And so then I was like, I gotta do something, because this person has all my contacts, my
Yeah.
personal information now, my credit card, because I do advertising, Facebook advertising.
Yeah.
So they have my credit card information. So I got to do something. And so because I still had the original URL code
Yeah.
to my Facebook,
Yeah.
I kept clicking it, and I'm like, forgot password. Okay, type in your password, and I would put 1 2 3 4 5. And so, nope, that's wrong. What's in your password? 1 2 3 4 5. Nope, that's wrong. And for 10 minutes, I kept doing that.
So you will lock the account.
So I would lock the account, which I did successfully.
Wow.
And so it took about 12 minutes to lock the account on my end and their end.
Yeah.
Right. And so then I tried to be like, okay, forgot password, send it to me, and then says, no, account has been disabled. You've abused your attempts. And so now, so here's the challenge now, right? If I'm trying to let Facebook know that I've been hacked, but so when they ask, okay, so there's a it's so stupid and it just ticks me off. So I go to Facebook. First of all, there's no email address.
Yeah.
And then there's no phone number.
Yeah.
Right?
Because they don't have the support system whenever these things happen, right?
And think about how many people around the world have Facebook, right?
Yeah.
And so then the question is, okay, great. Type in the email address associated to the account that it's been hacked. But so when I put my email address, it says no account found, because it's under the new person.
Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to think, because I'm like, with my Facebook account, I have 2 emails associated with it. So sometimes it gives me the ability to like kind of reset it based on the email.
I could try. I don't know, unless they change that as well. But for example, so think about it like this. Let's say you're the hacker.
Yeah.
And you're mariabunt@gmail.com. That's your hacker, whatever. I don't know this.
Yeah.
So you hacked my account, and now my Facebook profile, its registered email address is mariabunt@facebook.com. So I go in and I'm like, my account has been hacked. Okay, we'll help you, right? What's the email associated? Well, mail@mtclife.com. Nope, that account doesn't exist.
Oh my gosh.
And
So,
so-
you're so what's going on right now
So
based on that?
So I would have to know your email address to be like, this is the account that's been hacked based on your email address, but I don't have access to it.
But I don't even I don't think I can find a Lily Collins on my face.
If you go to our group,
It's not on there.
yeah, it's Lily Collins.
No, I know, but hold on, let's see.
Yeah, so if you go to one of our chats, like our family chats.
Okay, there it is. Let me just see. See members.
Lily Collins.
But you can't even you know what? You can't even click on their profile.
Because it's been disabled.
Oh dang, that's a hard one.
Yeah. So this Lily Collins is me, but Lily Collins, whoever the hacker is, changed the cell number and the email address. So I can't even tell Facebook that it's this account that's been hacked, because every time I put in my cell number or email address, they say this account doesn't exist.
That is insane. So now I totally get why you're like, I might even have to start over.
Yeah, I know. So I've have over like 3,000 like connections over whatever 20 years of Facebook with all my high school friends, all my like everybody, business partners or whatever. And not only that, my Facebook is attached to my business account.
And so you can't access your
I
business
can't
account.
even access my business account.
Oh my gosh, what a pain.
Oh, I'm like, okay, what is happening? Who is Lily Collins? So I put in Lily Collins hack, and the amount of people that are like, yes, the same thing happened to me, and there's over like 1,000 accounts that are Lily Collins.
Does anybody talk about what kind of resolution they were able to get, or like most of them had to start over?
So the newscast, the people that were interviewed by the news broadcasters, they all said that it was just a pain to get it back.
Okay.
Or some. Well, no, actually, people that were hacked, they said it was a pain to get it back. But when I look up the Lily Collins hack, no one's gotten it back.
Oh my gosh.
Because again, it's the whole thing that Lily Collins has a new email address attached to it.
Did you switch over like all your Instagram stuff? Did you like change passwords and everything on there?
No.
You should, because I'm like, that is attached to Facebook as well, usually.
Yeah.
Like, such a pain, right?
Yeah. And so this person, their whole goal in life is to. So this is it's blown up in March. So apparently the Lily hack accounts they've been going up. So I don't know who this person is, but they're like they're on a mission to like.
And you canceled your credit card and you did all that, right?
No.
Okay.
But they don't even have access. They don't have access to it. They have access to nothing because I locked the account.
And there's nothing that you've noticed on your credit card that's so weird.
No.
Oh my gosh, what a pain.
I know. So I realized a couple of things, like how attached we are to social media. So it happened Sunday. Monday, I went to work. We couldn't do the podcast.
Yeah.
Right? And so Monday, I went to work. I came back and I spent the entire Monday evening just trying to figure out how to get it. And I was stressed. I was like, I felt violated. I was like,
But you have your personal things, like you were telling me, right? Is
yeah.
everything with your kids, your family?
Everything, right? And so all my connections, all my emails, just everything. And so I spent all of Monday, and I was like, I did not sleep. I went to bed really, really late. Didn't even go to the gym in the morning. And then the next day I went to work again. I did my bookings and stuff like that. In between my presentations, I was on the phone looking things up on YouTube, looking things up on Google, and be like, okay, how do I get past this and everything? And nothing. Wednesday, same thing. I spent about 4 days just trying to access my thing because I felt like my identity had been taken away, which was a huge opener because I did not like how I felt. Facebook has so much power over me. So forget the business, forget the whatever. I can rebuild whatever. But it was the fact that I've put so much of my life into Facebook. They took Facebook away, and I felt like my identity got taken away, which has been a hard eye opener for me. There was this one interview that I found on YouTube that she says that being hacked was her greatest blessing.
Yeah.
Because she realized how much she was dependent on social media.
Yeah.
And so now that she doesn't have Facebook, she's been forced to connect with not her family, but like all her friends, old school.
Yeah.
Give them a call, send them a text message. I'll connect with you here or whatever. And so she's not on Facebook all the time, just looking.
Yeah.
So it was very...
An eye opener.
It's been an eye opener. So that I found that video of her interview on Thursday, and then I was like, you know what? It's like what she's talking about, same thing. Like I'm going through the exact same thing. And so on Thursday, I made this conscious decision. It was all of Sunday. So Sunday night, I went to bed late. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So 5 days. Thursday evening, I saw that video, and I'm like, this thing cannot have this much power on me. And so I've made a click, like a conscious decision. And so Thursday I went to bed on time. Yeah. And then Friday was I had a really busy day, and it was good. Like I delivered my presentation on par, all my cues, all my hits. Like I was connecting with the kids. I was different. Friday during the day, I was a much different person.
Because you had almost like this baggage on you because you have this preoccupation of your account. But then when you made a conscious decision, you're like, you know what? I don't want to say it's a part of you, something that you had, but not necessarily you.
Yeah. Yeah. And so now I'm under this thing. I was like, you know what? If I get it back, that's awesome. Yeah. Like I get everything back. And if I don't get it back, I'm okay with it. Yeah. So I'm like, yeah, I'm chill. I'm good.
That's good. That's good. See, it's been a growing week for you. That's for sure.
Oh, 100%.
A resetting week.
Yeah. But it's interesting that that happened because I saw this interview. Yeah. Right. So I'm eternally grateful for this lady that, she was like that. And because when she said that, and, I heard and I saw myself what she was saying as well. And so I'm like, okay, I'm grateful for people that have gone before me,
Yeah.
and they're willing to share their experiences and stuff. And so yeah, definitely.
It changed your perspective, it
Yeah.
sounds like.
Yeah. So I'm okay now. I'm like, whatever. If I don't get it, I don't get it. It sucks, but I'm okay.
You're going to survive.
I
You're going to
am.
do even better. You're going to build, well, no, you won't even build a better account, but I'm like, it is going to be better because now you're going to detach it from like the sense of who you are.
Yeah, for sure.
Or at least you're going to be more conscientious.
More what?
Conscientious. There we go. Big word. And I
That's-
pronounced it right. And
that's-
I know what it means.
That's not a word.
That is a word.
Conscientious?
Yeah, conscientious.
No, it isn't.
Oh my gosh.
You wanna make a bet? Let's make a
will
bet. You still owe me dessert.
For what?
Are you serious?
Oh, yes, I do owe you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hold on.
Conscientious.
Conscientious meaning. Okay, hold on. There we go. Oh, we should have put the thing close so everybody could have heard. That's okay. I don't know how to replay it, but it is a word.
No, it isn't. Hang on.
Conscientious. It says right
They're
there.
saying. Hang on one second.
Conscientious.
Bam.
Good thing we didn't bet anything.
I am not a betting woman, so you're welcome. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, you lost the first one, so yeah.
I am a betting woman. Here I am getting on my high horse.
So you did a reset
I did.
recently. What was that?
Okay, so I did a little bit of a different reset. I've
Mm-hmm.
been reading a book about patience, right? Because this is the thing. I feel like patience is such a dirty word. Everybody knows that they want more patience, but yet everybody cringes at the thought of acquiring patience.
But you know why though? Because it's used as a dirty word. Relax. Be more patient.
exactly.
And so don't tell me to.
And no, but you're right? Like
Yeah.
I was listening to a lady. I don't even remember when it was. It was something either I went to the grocery store, or I was out with my kids, and the child was having a hard time with something.
Yeah.
And he was tiny. He was like 3, and she was like, and I'm not meaning to criticize because I 100% have said this. Okay. The only reason why I'm more aware of it is because now I'm reading this book about it, right? But she's like, sweetie, you have to be more patient. And she's like, the candy bars are like right there for that child. He's like 3 years old. His understanding of patience is pretty much non-existent at that
Yeah,
point, right?
yeah.
And I'm like, look at us. Like I've been in situations where I'm like, if I want that candy bar, sometimes I'm not patient. I will buy that candy bar, right? And I'm a dang adult. But anyway, so within this journey of acquiring patience, I started realizing that one of the biggest blessings of patience is an increased level of happiness, is being content with where you are without worrying about the past and without having anxiety over the future. Right? It's just kind of watching your life unfold. So then I can't remember if I saw something on YouTube or it was part where I was reading, and it talked about how so much in society we believe that like we got to get all these things done. If we're busy, it means that we're progressing, which is not true. It actually means that we're overwhelmed, right?
Okay.
So then I looked at my life and I was like, okay, I want to say no to more things. So I cut it back, man. And I kid you not, I have been more patient with my kids by like 1,000. I have been able to do more within the things that I'm working on than before. I was waking up super early, 4:30 in the morning. And what I did for the last 2 weeks is that I actually made it okay for me to sleep in. Something that I hadn't. You know me, like for so long, I was like,
Yeah.
you gotta get up at 4:30. You have to have your like 4-hour morning routine, right?
Yeah.
But this time around,
So
I was like,
you've been waking up late. You said later.
yeah, I've been waking up later. So I woke up, today I actually woke up later too. I woke up at 6 today.
But your morning routine though, you were like dying on that hill about your morning routines, waking up early and doing all that.
100%. And I am going back to my morning routine.
Yeah.
I will have you say at 4:30, I'm going to reassess that time, because one of the things that she said, she's like, why does it matter to get up early and get all this stuff done? And yet for the rest of the day, you're impatient, you're cranky, you're not producing enough. Like you're not there. Right. So that really hit me, because I'm like, what does it mean if I get up so early and yet for the rest of the day I'm snapping, I'm feeling overwhelmed, I'm looking at all the things that I've set out that I said that I was going to do, and now I'm like feeling overwhelmed, so I don't end up doing anything, or the quality of it is not fully there. So kind of assessing that, and I think everybody needs like a point in their time where they look at what they're doing and they're reassessing. So that's
Yeah.
what I did for this last couple of weeks. So the first week was March break, and I took it completely easy. I planned activities with my kids. didn't have anything else scheduled. I had so much freaking fun with my kids. Like, we went to Activate.
Yeah.
I like was sweating buckets.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
like, let's go to my kids. That's intense.
Okay, Mom, I'm sorry. Are we having fun yet?
I was having fun. I don't know if my kids were having no,
They weren't. They weren't. They were scared.
Oh my gosh. So that happened on Tuesday. Wednesday, we went to the zoo. First time I went by myself with the 4 kids to the zoo. Had a freaking blast, okay? We spent the whole day there. I didn't show up at home until like 6. Quickly cooked, and then we went to our youth activity. And then Thursday we were supposed to go swimming. I was going to take the kids swimming, and they're like, Mama, can we have a pajama day? I was like...
No, we're having fun.
You're gonna have fun. Yeah. I was like, yeah, of course. So we had a pajama day on Thursday, and then Friday we planned out to go to a trampoline park.
Yeah.
And went to a trampoline park. I did the ninja course with the kids. Like, it was a freaking blast. So then I was like, I felt re-energized. I felt like it was the first time that I actually felt like I had healed from something. So do you want to know what my
Wow.
biggest struggle has been?
Yeah.
One of the biggest struggle, and I might cry. I'm getting ready. I feel it.
Hang on. There
So
you go.
if you're new to our show, Miguel now keeps this. Before it was like a roll of dirty toilet paper. Just kidding. It was like toilet paper. Now he's me a tissue box.
Dirty toilet paper?
Well, it wasn't dirty. I mean, it was like kind of crumpled in the corner.
It was. Because I never used it. So I was like, I stashed it in the corner. The only time I pulled it out was because when you were around. I was like, all right, Frank, here's the toilet paper.
Anyway, so I healed from something that I've been struggling with, which is so you know how you said that you had a level of attachment to your Facebook account?
Yeah.
I've been unpeeling my levels of attachment, and my level of attachment has been to bringing income into our house. So every time I haven't hit a certain income level, there's been a feeling of failure, but not like the good kind of failure that you're like, okay, well, I'm failing and I'm progressing and I'm gonna keep like getting back up. But it's been a sense of like, almost you're not good enough. Like, what are you doing? You're not bringing income. And even Mike is very reassuring all the time. He's like, this is not something that you need to worry. He's never done anything, but I think it's just a level from different experiences that I've had during my upbringing, that income is a very sore spot for me as far as being a woman not bringing income into the home.
Immigrant parents that have brought their kids into this country have that weight on their shoulders. Yeah. We brought you to this country to get an education and do this and whatever. So it's hard.
Yeah.
Because you're fighting back against what, as a child, you've been told, right?
Well, this is the thing too, and in case my mom watches, I love you, Mom. And obviously, we all do the best we can, right?
Yeah,
and I love my dad, you know that too.
Yeah.
But different experiences that we have in our childhood does affect us, right? Yeah. And my mom always carried a weight on her shoulders because she was a stay-at-home mom.
Yeah.
And so when she worked later in the future, it was always like, you know what? She was working hard for her family, but it was her income and her level of like, I feel like contribution that really like helped her, right? Mm-hmm. And so that I carried with me.
Wow.
And that has been, I've struggled with that since I quit working, which is maybe like 4 years ago. And so that's why I've always been very driven in the sense that I'm like, I may not be doing what my background is, which is nursing, but I'm like, I'm very driven because I do have career goals, right? And there are things that I want to work. So I carried that weight with me. And finally, I feel like it was last week where I looked at my life and I was like, I am exactly where I need to be. Mm-hmm. I am exactly, my life is unfolding before my eyes.
Dude.
Because one of the things was like, I know, right?
We're on our last tissue here. Hang on.
Where's that dirty toilet paper?
Jeez. There you go, man. Oh, sorry.
In case you cry.
No, I'm not. When have you seen? Nah,
I've seen you cry.
Maybe one time.
Okay.
In the podcast?
Oh, yeah. On the podcast is once, probably.
Oh, yeah. No.
Outside the podcast, it's been many times.
Oh, yeah. I'm a crybaby and a half. Yeah, that's for sure.
But yeah, anyway, so last week, finally, I feel like after reading this book about patience, doing some soul searching, this has been a healing journey for me of years. So it's been like a solid, like all of my life, where finally I hit that point that I'm like my life is unfolding as it's supposed to. The joy that being with my kids bring me, it's that's always been what my goal is. I'm still working towards my career, but it was finally that weight off my shoulders of like healing. And it happened because I took time to slow down and appreciate them and do things with them, and wasn't there physically, but my mind somewhere else of like trying to find ways of creating money.
Right, right.
So it was really good. It was like that was a turning point. So I feel like the healing from that has been incredible. And because of that, I've been more present, and I had a hard reset because now I'm doing less and still accomplishing the same amount of things that I was doing before.
So, okay. So you're now waking up at 4:30. Will you go back to waking up at 4:30? Because one of the
Yeah.
reasons why you were doing 4:30 is to do like your journaling and your workouts and your affirmations and
Yeah.
your all that stuff.
I was doing, it was a heavy thing, right? And I put a lot of like value in that. And don't get me wrong, I'm still putting value on it.
Yeah.
But I think there's seasons of life that require different things. My season of life will always require three things:
Okay.
personal development, so reading a book that helps me in whatever aspect, physical activity, and my scriptures. As long as I do those three things, everything else is added onto that. So for instance, my journaling, I journal when I'm having a hard time and like there's a lot of things going on, and I journal straight for like, I would say a couple years. But this past like couple weeks, I've been kind of sporadic in my journaling. And it's been okay because I put my, like before I was adding an extra pressure. It felt like something was hanging over me if I didn't get a chance to do it.
Yeah, yeah.
Now I've learned to be okay with it. And the other thing that I was doing consistently was the affirmations and visualization. Visualization, I'm doing it more frequently, but smaller periods of time during the day. Like I focus on the feeling that I'm creating with the kids, like love, happiness, gratitude, and I try to internalize it. And then at different points in my day, I'll try to take my body back to that and refeel those feelings. So it's not like a sit down like I was doing before, like 10 to 15 minutes, where it was a lot harder to call on those feelings. Now I'm just doing small feelings, kind of sporadic through my day. And then I think that's it. I think like those are the two main things that I've been a little bit more lax with it. I am going to, like, I still like to get up earlier in the morning because I like to be done by the time my kids come. Like, it gives me the chance to do other stuff.
Right.
But I think my goal before was to sleep 6 hours. Now my goal has increased to sleep 7 hours. So I think that I'm gonna put priority on.
Wow.
And then and then my two priority items to do before anything in the morning is the fitness portion and my scriptures. My personal development I can squeeze in throughout the day.
Wow. So it's funny you're mentioning all of this. There is a culture of success that is attached to certain sayings like rise and grind, right?
Exactly. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay. And so I've been seeing, I don't know why, but there's a couple of, I forget what the guy is, but what he does is he interviews like highly successful people, right, or whatever. And he says that is it's a huge cancer, that mentality of rise and grind, because so yes, to be a way of being successful is to rise and grind, waking up early in the morning and just hating burning the midnight oil on both ends and all this other stuff, whatever. He goes, however, there are other personality types that can't do that, but are still able to be successful if they find a different formula.
Yeah.
And so, but now there's this culture that the only way to be successful is to do this road of success, and that is the wrong mentality, because then you're gonna deter, and you're going to there are going to be a lot of people that are just going to be like, well, I can't do that, and so I'm not gonna chase my goals because I can't do the 3 a.m. or I can't do the 5 a.m. and I can't do whatever. And so then it has a reverse effect on those people.
So that's me. Not necessarily with the morning, but I have an aversion to hearing the word like, and you and I have had this conversation where it's like, where the mentality is like, for me, staying up late for working. Like, you have to do everything, and that needs to be your like number one focus, and like you can't think of anything else, and you have to want it so bad. Like, what you want has to be more. You have to dislike so much where you're at to be ordered to change it to go to the next level, right?
Yeah.
And I've tried that mentality. It does not work for me.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, And that's the realization that I had, because I was like, for so long, I've been trying to think that there's something wrong with my life right now in order for me to be able to like push to the next level in my life. And I'm like, am I going to look back at this stage of my life and be like, I missed out, which I for sure will, because I tell everybody I'm living the golden age of my kids. I am not exhausted from being out feeding them all night. I'm not changing dirty bums. Like I'm not doing anything of that like heavy fatigue, like heavy labor that is for the beginning, I would say 0 to 6. I am now in the stage where my kids are 6 to 11, where it's beautiful, where my kids do chores, where my kids do their own laundry, where they want to snuggle me and spend time with me, but yet they're independent enough to do things that they need, where like the conversations that we had and the teachings that I've hoped that they've been able to get, I hear them like sharing it with others. It's such a beautiful stage in my life that I know that if I was to be 10 years ahead, I would look back and be like, dang, I missed out.
Yeah.
And so now I realize that I can have both. It's not about choosing one or the other. Yeah. And I think that's where my joy has come from. We're being finally okay with where I'm at without feeling the I would say the pain of not bringing as like the income that I want to bring now. But feeling the healing power of like my pay is in kind is different. My pay is with my kids. My pay is with seeing them grow and having like snuggles with them and going to the zoo. And if they get sick, I'm there. And then my pay is also being able to do something that I love. Like I'm like developing a course. I'm doing real estate. Like I'm doing these things that I love. And I get to do it while my kids are young, while I enjoy them. And I still get to do this. It's not like...
It's not one or the other.
Yes. And I'm like, and I think that's been the biggest realization. And then being able to know that even while I do that, I still get to spend time with Mike. I still get to watch TV, because this was my thought process before. You cannot watch TV and be successful. That was my thought process before. Now I'm like, dang, if you have, granted, don't think, like, I'm not saying go and binge. That's different, right? But one of the things that I have learned these past couple of weeks, that sometimes we get caught up in such a race that we forget everything that brings creativity, that brings joy, that brings gratitude in our lives. And we just grind until we burn out, and then we stop doing what we do, like what we want to do. When in reality, if we bring these components that bring us joy and gratitude and fun, and maybe we slow down at the time, but we're going to be able to go further, because we're not like racing, burning out, burning out, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be consistent.
So I think there's Earl Nightingale is pretty much the godfather, the godfather of motivational, right? And so Earl Nightingale says the definition of success is, hang on,
I can look it up too.
Yeah.
Who's gonna find it faster, me or you?
Are you kidding? Well, you have the phone, so that's not. Hang on, I'm gonna hang on. Where'd it go?
Oh, I don't have my glasses, man. So this is definition of Sir Earl Nightingale. In this book, The Strangest Secret, is that the one?
Yeah, The Strangest Secret. What is it?
That progressive realization of a worthy goal.
Okay.
Is that what you were going towards?
Yeah, it's more detailed than that.
Success is the progressive realization of a worthy goal. It means that anyone who's on course towards the fulfillment of a goal is successful.
Okay, so he says if your goal is to work and be the best, to be the best the best retail sales agent or retail person at a mall, and yours is to hit those numbers, whatever, and you hit them, like, that's success. If your definition of success is to be the best mother and you hit it, that's success. If your definition of goal is to work at a gasoline station and be the best attendant, that's your success. And so here's what I'm hearing from you is the following. Because you get people like, I don't know if you know who Eric Thomas is. The hip hop preacher.
Yes.
Okay. So he's loud and he's in your face. He's the guy that says, if you want to breathe as bad as you want to, if you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe,
do you make it happen?
And he's the guy that tells the story of this guy, he gets put into the underwater and he's trying to breathe and whatever. And then the guru tells him, well, when you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, that's when you're going to be successful. I don't know if you've ever heard that story. Okay. Anyways, long story short, I follow him, and he's the one that got me on the 3 a.m. club, right? And so I follow him, and one of the things that in his talks he says that he doesn't watch movies because he doesn't have time, because he just doesn't have time to be doing all these different things and or whatever. And so I'm like, okay, success is such a huge spectrum, right? And if I want what he has, then I have to do what he's doing. Right now he's the number one preacher, or he's the number one motivational speaker, right? So if I want to be doing that, then I have to be doing, if I want what he has, then I have to be doing what he has, but then also have to sacrifice what he's sacrificed.
Yeah.
And so let's say he's a level 10 success, on this level 1 is success. And so the spectrum of 1 through 10, it's not it's not a scale of how much success. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's a level of
Fulfillment, maybe?
fulfillment. So I
Yeah.
can be, number 1 for some people is number 2, for some people is number 3. He's number 10 or whatever. If I want to be a level 10, then I have to do what he's doing, but maybe I don't want to be a level 10. Maybe I want to. I'll be happy being a level 7, and then by doing a level 7, I get to watch movies with my kids. I get to take him to the movie theater and have those experiences with them. Right? It may be going to the zoo. I don't like the zoo. I actually hate the zoo.
Yeah?
Yeah, I really do.
Why? Is it the idea of like animals that are... But how would we know so much about animals and have such a deep appreciation without the zoo?
Doesn't matter. I remember one time it was the last time I was at the zoo. I saw the gorilla, and the gorilla and we made eye contact.
He told you he wasn't happy.
He was like, "I'm sad here," and so I'm like. Anyways, it affected me so much. I came home and I'm like, this is the last time I'm going to the zoo. So I don't know. Like I'm a big animal, and it's funny because Nala, the bird, she's in a cage a lot of the time.
Yes.
And so Tegan's like, so you're
What
like,
happened to your morals? Your moral code
that's
of...
exactly what she said. She's like, you're such a BS.
I'm like, I would get it if you did not have Nala, but you have Nala. So
But she just brought this up the other day, and so I'm like, yeah. Like I'm like, now I'm rethinking about how to keep Nala and give her the freedom without keeping her in a cage. So I'm trying to redesign her stay here with us. Anyways, that's another story. But the whole thing about what you're saying is that for the longest time you've been chasing level 8 success, but
I wouldn't say level. I think I've been chasing somebody else's success.
right.
I think that's what it is.
Whatever their definition of success is,
Yes.
you've been chasing that.
Yeah.
And then not realizing that if you want what they have, you're gonna have to sacrifice what they're sacrificing, and you weren't willing to do that.
But this is the thing. I believe that you can still get that level of success, but doing it with what's aligned with your values. So you have to get clear on what your values are, and then you will find a way to reach that level of success. Do you get what I mean? Because I'm like,
I
success
do.
is so... like for me, I would not want Eric Thomas level. Like, it's not level of success. I just wouldn't want his lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I
that's
meant.
not-
That's what I mean. It's the lifestyle.
Exactly. That's not the lifestyle I'm looking for. And I'm like, I think I've been working so hard at having clarity of what my success is defined as, right? And it wasn't until I read the seven habits that I sat down. It took me 3 months and I worked out my values. I have 6 values that I live by. And once I was able to realize that, it's truly when, like, I guess this healing started to begin, because now everything that my level of success is based on character,
Right.
not assets. Like, not, I don't want to say assets, but not like it's not based on money. It's not based on financial gains, but it's rather based on character traits. That if I was to get all this money, or not if I was going, when I do get all this stuff that I do want, if I was going to lose it, I could rebuild again.
Yeah.
Right?
So, but going back to where you're saying that you can have other people's lifestyles or success,
Well, you can have your vision of success.
right?
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. You can't have Eric Thomas's lifestyle
No, because I don't want it.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly, right? And so that's the like one of the people who I've been following a lot lately is Mel Robbins, right? I've been listening to her
Yeah.
podcast religiously, and I absolutely love what she said, right? One of the things that she said is like, once you figure out, especially with kids, kids are like a melting ice cube, right? And she talked about the beginning of her life and how she was the highest, most successful personal development speaker, was being booked and all these different things and was traveling. But yet she was under severe depression, quite lonely, felt isolated, even though she had all these people in her life and she couldn't understand why. And that is when she realized that what she had wasn't necessarily what she wanted, because it took her away from the people that she wanted to spend it with, right? So then she redesigned. She's still highly successful. It's not that her status has changed, but she redesigned her company that it would match along her values. And I loved what she said, that it was that realization that she had was when her kids, she talked about her husband being the one who was doing everything for the kids because she was traveling. She couldn't be there, so she didn't feel connected with her husband. She didn't feel connected really with her kids because she was traveling so much. And then her
See,
kids.
I want to challenge that.
Hold on, let me finish.
Yeah,
this
yeah,
thought.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like, but see, remember too, I'm like, I think, okay, we'll talk about it
Yeah,
after.
yeah. One thing, yeah.
But then after her kids finished high school, and she realized she had a son, and her son was struggling, and she's like, he's a melting ice cube.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is not what I'm happy. This is not the lifestyle I want to live. And she redesigned everything. And even she said, she's like, I've structured my company, which I still have that same fulfillment, that same level of success.
Yeah.
But now she's actually living the values that she wants.
So this is why I want to challenge that.
Okay, tell me.
Okay. Because if she was living her lifestyle now,
Mhm.
she would not have the success that she has now. So do you know the guy, the mustache Amazon guy?
No.
Bar something. I forget what this guy's name is. Anyways, he says, F your dreams in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
He says, F, and he swears, right?
Yeah.
So he's like, F your dreams. It's, and he's like, he's saying, I'm not saying no to your dreams. I'm saying that for you to do what you love, you have to have an income.
Yeah.
Like a steady stream of income,
Yeah.
right? Whatever. And so he goes, in the beginning, you have to put it all on the line. You have to like just do something, make yourself feel uncomfortable, get to a level. And then once you're at a level where there is a level of success and a steady level of income, you can scale it back and then start living your dreams.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, with her, if she wouldn't have sacrificed the way that she sacrificed with her book dealings, with her travels and all whatever, she would not have had the followers that she has now.
Mm-hmm.
Now she can scale back and be like, okay, now let me put my life into actual priorities, and then I can spend more time with my kids and whatever. But now, so for example, before she had to make 100,000, she had to, let's say, just an example, whatever. When nobody knew who she was, she would be doing, if she wants to do 100,000 every because nobody knew her, so she would be booking $10,000 per session.
Yeah.
Right. And so she would have to do 10 to make 100,000.
Yeah.
But now, because she is highly, highly successful, everybody knows who she is. She's got the book, she's got whatever. Now she can do 2 bookings and charge 50,000, and people will pay.
Mm-hmm.
So she can scale back because she has the following, she has the endorsement, she has all these different things.
Mm-hmm.
But now it allows her to scale back. But if she was doing that kind of work ethic when nobody knew her, she would not be where she is now.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my only challenge. And that's why when you're like, you can have everything that you have.
I say you can have everything that you want. I didn't say, so this is the thing, right? Because a lot of the sacrifice, sometimes this is my definition of sacrifice, right? And with my definitions, there's a streaming error.
Okay.
With my, I think sacrifice comes in all different shapes and forms, right?
Mm-hmm.
The level of sacrifice that I'm willing to do is I'm willing to get uncomfortable.
Right.
I'm willing to let go of my self-doubt. I'm willing to put myself out there. I'm willing to do what needs to be done between the hours of X and X.
Yeah.
I am not willing to give up the time that I have with my kids.
Right.
So I
agree
think
with that, yeah.
so I think that is where I'm at, and at least for now, I think as you kind of grow in different life places or different life experiences, I think sometimes it can change. I definitely don't want to say that I'm attached to this definition forever.
Yeah. No, I
But
agree with 100% with what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, for sure.
But I definitely know that for this season of life right
Yeah.
now,
Yeah.
that this is the definition that is bringing me fulfillment and that is
100%.
helping me to be like, I can have the things that I want because the things that I want are aligned with the vision of myself, of my family, and of my kids.
Yeah.
So I think
Yeah.
you're right. I think you're absolutely right. I think you have to just do a sure assessment of what the sacrifice is going to be.
Yeah.
For me, when it includes the sacrifice of anything that has to do with my kids,
Yeah.
then that's definitely something that I have to assess, and most likely it'd be a hard no. But sacrificing of like the things of how uncomfortable, which is a huge sacrifice. A lot of us are not willing to sacrifice our self-doubt. A lot of us are not willing to sacrifice our comfort. We're not willing to sacrifice certain bad habits that we have in order to reach the next level, and that's something I continually struggle with, right? But aside from that, like family and stuff like that, I wouldn't.
So Les Brown, he says, anytime that you have a goal or anytime that you have a something like something that you're chasing, you have to put it through the one question, and the one question is it worth it?
Yeah.
Right. And he says that whatever goal that you have, whatever definition of success or lifestyle or whatever it is that you want out of life, out of your current state, everybody has to ask themselves this question: is it worth it? And because here's the thing, when you answer is it worth it and the answer is no, that's not it for you at this time. Right? So for you, it's like, waking up at 4:30 and, is it worth it? Okay, whatever. But that means you have to sacrifice time with, and I'm not saying that there's a correlation, but let's just say there is. Yeah, you have to wake up at 4:30, go to bed, super early, 7:00, but your kids are still up. And, is it worth it? It's not worth it. I want to be spending time with my kids. I want to be doing all this stuff, and it's not worth it. And so then you have to go back and redesign it, figure out what you actually want and what you're willing to sacrifice to get there, and then ask yourself, is it worth it? And then as you take your goals to that level of is it worth it, and he goes, that's how eventually you get to where you want to be.
I agree. My
Yeah.
whole the whole thing that I'm working on right now is developing systems that make goals easier to achieve.
Right.
Because sometimes we're so gun ho on the goal,
Yeah.
but yet we feel demotivated because we haven't established a system. So it's not really a goal problem, but it's rather a system problem where there's been a breakdown, right?
Yeah. I was at a women's conference and I was at a women's conference on Saturday.
On Saturday.
I was a keynote speaker.
Nice.
At a women's conference. Defending womanhood via wellness.
Okay.
No, it's not okay.
Well,
I'm like in this room filled with all these women. I was like, oh freak, I'm gonna get.
I'm like, it's
chewed out.
interesting that they would have a male keynote.
So they had 3 presenters. 2 of them were females, and then myself. I was the middle person. And
So what'd you talk about?
so I told them right off the bat, I go, last thing I want to do is come in here and tell and make it look like this guy's telling women what to do. I go, because quite frankly, I'm afraid of all of you. I'm like,
Or well, you should be.
and so they all started laughing, right? I'm like, this is either every man's worst nightmare or his best dream. And I'm like, so I got to be careful not to turn into a nightmare, right? So they started laughing, whatever. I go, but what I do want to do, I want to come in from the side or from the route of why we need women empowerment in our life. And so how I am where I am because of women.
Yeah.
And so I want to tell you how important you are and why men need you. And so that's how that's
That's
how
the
I
route that
came.
you.
So the minute I said, I'm like, oh, I'm like, all right, I got them.
You're like, yeah, in the bag. It's a win.
So that was that. But there's one speaker. What did she say? And I wrote it down. She said, hang on, I found my phone. Hang on once. I gotta tell you because it was actually.
Okay.
She said. Sorry, I was taking like notes like crazy. And she said, notes. She said, chase the habit, not the results.
Yep.
Right? Which reminded me of Mike.
Oh yeah, he's he's still like marching. He's there like 4 or 5 times a week, eh?
Because when he started, he didn't start going to the gym right away. He started creating the habit.
Yeah.
And then he was chasing the habit, not the results.
And you know what, too? I'm like, it's so incredible that. So he had some recent blood work that he did that he was supposed to do it the new year, didn't, and finally decided to go and do it. And then the doctor called him and he was like, hey, like, no, the doctor didn't call him. This doctor sent him a message and he's like, that's great. Your blood work looks great. Keep doing what you're doing. And it's like, it was such an incredible thing, right?
Yeah,
because before it, his blood work needed a little bit of work. But through fitness and his commitment, I'm like, there we go, right?
Yeah, yeah. So why was I telling you this?
Choose the habit, not the result.
Yeah, why was I telling you this?
Because we were talking about systems and not goals. And when there's like something that's going wrong,
yeah. And so, which is what you said, complementary to what you said, is like we're so focused on the goal, and we see it all the time, and I've seen it all the time where someone is about to get married.
Mm-hmm.
Their goal is to fit in the dress.
Yeah.
They get to that goal, they get married, they're in the dress,
and then it's like,
then they stop, and then they add all this weight.
Yeah.
And it's like you can't. And I've been around a lot of people where, you know, divorces and stuff like that, and so they want to feel better about themselves and all these different things, and they feel better, then they get themselves someone, and then they stop working out because their fitness was attached to
an end result,
getting someone, right? Looking good and feeling good to get someone. And then once they got someone, then they stopped.
So I'm currently going through that, right? And I'm like, it's interesting that you say that because for me, my big someone, I guess, was 75 hard, right? Like,
Okay.
you know, a whole year I
Yeah.
worked through 75 hard. And I was freaking looking fit. Like I look back at pictures and I'm like, dang, why did I not see this when I was going through it, right?
Yeah.
And then as soon as 75 hard finished, I finished a year. I feel like it's because I was chasing the end result, the fulfillment of feeling that year. I let go of my systems.
Yeah.
And when I let go of my systems, then I did gain weight, right? It's
Yeah.
part of the process. I mean, like it's not that my body was doing anything to me, right?
Yeah.
So I've been struggling with kind of getting back to a place where I feel healthier. Because right now I don't feel 100% healthier. And the thing is that when I feel bogged down or when I feel bloated, it totally affects the quality of my reading, of my
Yeah.
scripture study.
Yeah.
It affects the quality of my life. So I've been working on this thing of systems, right? And focusing on the present, on the here and now, and not
Yeah.
even comparing my journey now to
Yeah.
what I did with 75 Hard. So I'm like, it's interesting that you said, and that's that one of the things I was watching. And talked about systems, and they're like, systems give you the opportunity to be a lifelong learner. It doesn't stop once you achieve X result, which a lot of us, we accomplish our goal, we kind of revert back to our original state.
And I think the purpose of 75-day hard was to create a habit.
Yeah.
But then a lot of people, maybe yourself, were doing the 75 hard as a goal, not as a habit creator. And so once it was done, then you're like, okay, I finished, and so I'm done with it.
Was the nutrition aspect of it, right? Because
Yeah.
I'm like, I realize too that it's okay to have struggles with nutrition. Sometimes we think that it's like we do these healthy habits and it's a fix-all, end-all kind of
Yeah,
thing. When
yeah.
in reality, there's still that part of us that once we hit stressful situations, there is going to be that part of us that like pulls us back.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, the great thing is that I did like build a solid habit of working out an hour and like reading and doing all that stuff. But I'm like, it's just the nutrition that's kicking me in the butt.
Yeah. and the other thing that you were saying, and then I just, again, to reiterate, about you're now in the process of creating systems. So Tony Robbins says that the greatest lesson that we can teach our children is how to identify, and I think we talked
Patterns,
about it.
right?
Identify patterns, use the patterns, and create patterns. When you do those three things, you are going to be 100% successful.
See, that's why I'm there with my kids.
Yeah.
How are my kids going to be successful if I'm not there?
Yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I
Yeah.
choose to do my life the way that I do
Yeah.
it, right? Because
Yeah.
it's not just about me,
Yeah.
but it's giving wealth to my kids as well and teaching them how they can create wealth.
Yeah. Because if you're not present and Raquel's learning that, then
Yeah.
when she gets married she won't be present for her children.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, it's so good. I have to tell you, I've been the happiest I've been in this last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I didn't want like the March break to end.
Yeah.
The kids were like, we don't want to go to school. I'm like, I know, I don't want you to go. Like, I legit did not want them to go to school. We had such a great time.
Yeah. No, we need these reset times, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And oh my gosh, I'm so sorry. I feel like I took the whole time talking about me when we
Oh,
were
no.
supposed to talk about your reset.
No, I went on vacation. That's it. that was it. Like I went on a cruise, and Bob's your uncle. That's it. We and we only had one Home Alone situation. So out of the entire cruise, 10 days, we only lost one kid one time.
There we go. Was it the tiny ones?
It was Cruz, Zayn.
Oh my gosh, what happened?
Oh, we just left him behind
Where?
in the middle of the hallway. Everybody went into the elevator. We went 3 floors up, and we just left him behind. We sat down around the dinner table.
You guys actually made it to sitting down around the dinner table?
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. So we're on floor 3, and the dinner area was level 5.
Yeah.
And so so the dinner area was level 3, 4, 5.
Yeah.
3 and 4 were all busy, so they put us on level 5. Okay, great. So we get there, we register at the level 3 because that's where the main entrance is. Then like, okay, we'll take you to level 5. They went to the elevators. I was back in the cabin, trying to bringing towels back,
Okay.
because then they charge you $25 per towel.
You're like, heck to the no.
Screw that, right? I was like, I don't need a 25 friggin'.
You're like, don't you know how many kids I have? It would be like $1 million.
yeah. And so I was whatever. And so they're like, okay, you guys go get the table level 5. What table is it? Oh, 4606. I'm like, okay, I'll meet you guys there. I'll go to bring the towels back. Okay. So we separated. They all went.
And they thought you had them.
No. So I had left. I had whatever
okay.
left. And so them together, they jumped the waiter guy, brought him into the the elevators open. Everybody went in. Everybody went up. Everybody went and sat down. There were 2 empty chairs missing. Oh, one's for Dad. And then it was like, why is there an empty chair missing? And so they started looking around. Zayn was nowhere to be found. So Seth stands up and he just he just takes off the flash, right?
Yeah.
As he's leaving the doors, I'm coming in and I'm like, dude, where you going? I'm coming. It just takes off. And I'm like, dude, where's he going? So I get to the table and I'm like, and I'm looking around, and where's Zayn? So I noticed right away. And then I'm like, oh, this is why he ran, right? And so sure enough, he ran down the stairs. He didn't went for the elevator. And he's sitting in the middle of the corridor with the iPad.
He was.
He's like, Seth, I got distracted.
Oh my God. At least he stayed there, right?
He stayed
that's
there.
so good.
And so he picked him up and brought him. My mom was dying.
Of laughing, or was she upset?
Upset.
Yeah, because I was like,
Zayn is her favorite.
I
right?
could see.
And so her favorite kid got lost.
I could see why you're. That's why when you said dying, I'm like, she's not happy. Like,
No. No, my mom was like, she was.
That's
beside.
it. Like, she was like, I'm taking him. I'm moving out, and I'm
Do you
taking
know how
him.
many times she said that she would when she wasn't living with us, that how many times her and my dad would be like, we're calling children's aid on you guys, and we're taking Zayn.
Oh my God.
It's like, frick. It's like, jeez, whatever, mom. But anyways, and so that happened, and so whatever. But yeah, it was a good reset, and we did our thing. Nothing. I mean, we've all done vacations. I did not have a revelatory experience like you did. Right. For me, it was good. I was spending time with family. The only thing that came out of it is like, how do I increase my income to have more of these?
More of these experiences.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's, anyways, it was magical, right? Kids were seeing palm trees for the first time in their life. And then they're like, what is this? We went to the beach, right? Haiti and the Virgin Islands.
Oh, that's so nice.
And the sand is so thin. It was entering in areas of my body I didn't even know existed.
TMI.
No, I'm just saying.
Like,
It was
seriously.
I was like walking back to the boat, and it was like,
I had hoped that this past 3 weeks would like kind of
Reset?
yeah.
Heck to the no.
I'm like,
No. I came more graphic. And so, yeah, I got a rash in my...
What happened? Didn't you take your butt wipes with you? You have them always laying around here.
You can't. Because there's sand. And so if you're using the thing, it's sandpaper. So you have to like take like a deep shower, right? And get all the sand out. And before you can start using
A
any...
deep shower. That is quite the word. We'll end with that word.
I stand by my comments. I stand by my comments. No regrets. No regrets. But yeah, so I just came back and was like, and I guess it's one of these things like, how do I increase the income, but not sacrifice my kids' time?
Those are good questions because it will lead you to be more creative. Because so
Yeah.
often we equate time with money when in reality we have to think about how do we make our time more valuable in order to bring more
And
income.
Les Brown says that too, right?
Yeah.
He says if you just there's more than one way to do things. And,
Yeah.
And so that's my whole thing. That was the only, but revelatory, like how the experience that you had, yeah, I didn't, there was nothing like that. It was more like question if the right, and I'm a firm believer, Elder Bednar, if the question is revelatory, so will the answer.
Yeah.
So you just have to ask the right questions and the universe will answer, right? So
Yeah.
I just came back like that. I'm like, okay, how do I increase this? How do I do this? How do I kill it? How do I take this thing to the next level without being an absentee father?
Well, General Conference is coming. Some good answers can come from there.
I know. And it's funny because I told the congregation, it's like I'm conducting. And so I'm like, bring a question. If you want a personalized General Conference, if you want this to be a personal experience between you and the Savior, I'm like, show up, bring a question. Doesn't matter what it is, but you got to show up with a question.
We should do a little side note. The General Conference for us is when all our general leaders instruct us. And it's a whole worldwide event. It's 2 days. It's amazing. It's truly revelatory. Okay, big word.
Revelatory.
Revelatory.
No.
I can say conscientious. No problem.
Yeah.
Revelatory is a different way.
Revelatory.
Relevatory. Whatever. You know what I mean.
Revelatory.
Revelatory.
Revelatory. Say it.
Revelatory.
No. Revelatory.
Revelatory. I can't say that word. Anyway, but it is a place and time where our souls, our spirits get nourished. And Miguel and I are a firm believer that in order to have a whole life, you need both spirit, mind, and physical nourishment, right?
Mind, body, and spirit. Three-legged stool.
That's right. If one is not working, you're going to fall off. It's going to be a whole lot harder.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. What? No. There we
Like,
go.
what's going on?
Yeah. So,
That's it.
what was your takeaway today?
My takeaway is that, you know what? It's all right to be at the journey that you're on. That sometimes you try to rush through things and you try to get somewhere faster, but in reality, regardless of what you do, you're gonna get there when you're supposed to get there. That's what I feel like I gained most out of this conversation that you and I had.
Yeah.
And what about you?
What did I gain out of this?
Aside from your deep shower. That's a new word for you. When in doubt, go have a deep shower.
Deep shower. I got actually this last part. It's just confirming what I thought. It's I can have everything that I want and then some, but it's about being creative. So it's not about doing more. It's about doing quality work. Right. My income did go up, this year because I increased all my prices. I had to. I've been sitting.
And that's a good way.
Yeah,
I mean,
I've been sitting on these costs for the last 7 years.
Whoa. Okay,
Right?
that
5
needs to
years?
increase yearly.
Yeah, I know. I have a hard time with it, but yeah, and so I have to just be
2%
creative.
increase every year, just to match inflation.
Inflation's like 7%.
I know, right?
Right.
7%. Really, it's like 30% with certain, 50 when you go and buy groceries.
No, I know. So yeah, just be creative. Be creative in your success. That's it.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much for being here with our conversation.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we love you. Absolutely love you lots. Thank you so much for joining us. Please make sure that you follow all of our social links. That everything's up right up there.
I just realized you and I are kind of matchy, eh?
I hate this. I hate this. You need
Anyway, guys, we love you.
to. Bye.
Get a minute, don't know. Get a minute of your time. Get a minute of your. I'm gonna live right, and I'm never gonna let you out of my side. I've been knocked out, was a nice try, but I guess I get to keep my head on this time. Part of the creation, the relations I've got, the only one that keeps me safe, the only one you should trust. For sure, it ain't right that I have checked the speck of dust from all of its side. Fall down, that from my height, cause I didn't see the plank I have in my eye.